This first story is about Russian sanctions. This is on NOS News, a Dutch website / newspaper. EU and envoy David O'Sullivan is in Washington today and tomorrow to coordinate new sanctions against Russia related to the war in Ukraine. Convicted felon Trump responded yesterday to a journalist's question that he's ready to move to phase 2 of the sanctions. Wait, have we conquered phase 1 yet? Which is agreeing on anything? He did not specify what that means in concrete terms. Don't worry, guys, we're getting it done. We're getting to phase 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Trump's Treasury Secretary Bessent hinted to NBC News that the U.S. wants to impose additional tariffs on countries that import oil from Russia. We are prepared to increase pressure on Russia, but our European partners must follow suit, he said. Cough, cough, Germany, who was getting a lot of imports from Russia, even during the Ukraine war, the start of the conflict. The question on the table, he said, is who will endure the war longer? Ukrainian army or the Russian economy? Thanks to China and India, I think India is also helping Russia, economically anyways. I don't think Russia's economy is going to collapse anytime soon.
Oh, yeah.
The U.S. and
I think it will, actually. I think it's very close to collapsing.
Okay,
I've heard a lot of...
It's nice that you're optimistic about it. I'm more pessimistic, obviously. If the U.S. and the EU impose more sanctions, levy tariffs on the countries that buy oil from Russia, the Russian economy will collapse, and that will bring Putin to the negotiating table, he said. And I think the only thing that will bring Putin to the negotiating table if he's no longer leader of Russia, because then he'll be like, please give me back in power. Last month, the U.S. imposed such an indirect 25% sanction on India, who is, like I said, helping Russia by buying their imports. They import the largest amount of Russian oil. India is thus supporting Russia's war economy. Ukrainian President Zelensky agreed and said it was a good decision. He also agrees with his criticism of Europe that there are countries in Europe that will import oil or gas from Russia and thus contribute to the Russian warfare. The Kremlin said today that sanctions will not lead to a change of the war. I do have to agree with the Kremlin on this one. Like I said, I'm very pessimistic that even if their economy collapses, which you're saying is possible, I think even with that, they'll still keep going. I don't know. I was hoping there would be mass, what is it called? When you just, leave the army. What's that? What's the phrase for that? Where you're just like, I'm not going to fight. I wish the Russian soldiers...
Truce?
No. When Russian soldiers are like, I surrender, take me into custody as a prisoner of war. Whatever.
Surrender?
No, that's not the word.
Capitulation?
No, it's when you abandon the army and then you're you get arrested. Huh?
Deserter.
Yes, deserter. I was hoping more Russian soldiers would desert because last thing I heard about how they're contributing to their the Russian population is that they're just sending all the men out there, just every single one, and now there's nobody who can do anything. And at some point they might even start sending women. I don't know. And if they all deserted, then the war would be over because there would be no army. But they do have, I think, a larger population than Ukraine. I'm not really sure about the numbers here. Trump has repeatedly threatened to expand the sanctions package. In July, he said he would impose massive tariffs on Russia. He didn't reach a ceasefire with Ukraine within 50 days. 2 weeks later, he advanced that deadline. He let it lapse. His meeting with Putin in Alaska followed in August. Everything points to him letting Putin take him there. Yep, that's definitely what it looks like. According to convicted felon Trump, he and Putin have taken another step toward peace, and new U.S. sanctions seem completely off the table. Almost a month later, peace or ceasefire remains no closer. Putin continues to avoid a personal meeting with President Zelensky because honestly, I think Zelensky would be wild enough to just take everyone out, I don't know if this is really what happened because I wasn't following the news, but I heard after the fiasco where Trump was like, oh my god, you need to wear a suit when you meet with me. Zelensky specifically didn't wear a suit again. as like as a petty way to be like, you don't fucking
Right.
tell me
He
what to
doesn't
wear.
have
I'm
any
the leader of my
clothes.
own goddamn
He
country.
gave away all of his clothes. He
Yeah.
he doesn't have anything. He just legitimately a poor man. He doesn't have
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I think Zelensky is badass enough, like, to, you know what? I brought a bomb. We're just gonna blow each other up, and then he killed Putin, and then that's what he'll do. I
You think
think
he'd do
he
that?
would do that. I would do that if I was. If like, what other reason is Putin so scared to meet with
Maybe
Zelensky
if
other than to be?
like deprivation, but he doesn't seem like the terrorist type.
I think the truth is that Putin doesn't respect Zelensky as the leader of the country because he thinks he's the leader of Ukraine, right? He's so delusional.
Good.
I'm not going to talk to this figurehead for the rebellion. I don't respect him. He's not a real leader because I'm the real leader of Ukraine. Last night, Russia launched 810 drones and 13 cruise missiles into Ukraine in one of the largest airstrikes since the beginning of the war. 7 people were killed and 44 injured. Ha! Get fucked, Putin! Everyone's not scared of you anymore. Last night, Russia attacked a Ukrainian power plant, causing power outages in several locations. But don't worry, because the Ukrainians will not give up.
They're just calling that a number 2 now. Let's do a number 2. Knock out the power plant.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Keep on trying. Nobody's scared of you, Putin, except for your own people, which is just sad enough.
They already proved that they can't withstand a long, protracted war in Afghanistan. The people just say, fuck this. What are we doing there? Who cares? Right?
Yeah.
But eventually they will. But Putin would have to die first, fortunately.
It is seeming like that's the only solution is like, he just has to go. Has to go. Mixed metaphor?
Mixed metaphor, having Diaper Donnie negotiate for your side is like, it was like if you're a sheep and the wolf in sheep clothing is negotiating with the alligators. There's your mixed metaphor.
The wolf is just imagining a wolf inside of a sheep's costume talking to alligators on a swamp is a funny image to me.
Donald Trump is on your side, you have nobody on your side. That is the lesson we got to learn here. He's on his own side. He doesn't give a shit what the hell happens to you. He even tells that to his stupid voters, and they just go ahead and vote for him. He doesn't care about us. All right, never mind.